I'm glad you're back with us this morning. I'm still Karen Turner, Mountain Regional Director and Vice Chair of the Colorado Board. The first thing I'd like to talk about or to announce to you are the results of the elections held during two of the regional breakout sessions. Congratulations to John Lesserwitz, the new nominating committee chair or new nominating committee member for the Central Region, and to John Peterson, the new alternate from that same region. Also, congratulations to Tom UNO, the new nominating committee for the Pacific region, and to Ruben Viega, the new alternate. We're going to start off this morning, so congratulations to those new committee members. Okay, we're going to start off this morning with a brief recap of what we discussed in the different regional breakout sessions. Rather than have all of the regional directors up here to come up and talk about what they did, what they've asked me to do is do a summary or a recap of what was said or what was discussed. And then I'll ask if there's any changes to that. So basically what happened was most of the regions discussed the same topics: online CPE and use of electronic board packets, the Canadian merger with the designation of what will become the CPA-CA or CA-CPA, self-reporting of disciplinary actions, issues of retired CPAs, moves towards consolidations, and then whistleblowing. Basically what the conversation was here with the online CPE was there was really little consensus from what I saw from the summaries. There are issues with online, there are issues with in person to person, but we are aware of them, we're just not, but there was no consensus about necessarily what to do with them or no move to regulate that. Use of electronic board packets. Many of the boards are actually dealing or using board packets that are electronically sent. Some of them are still using paper, some are still using a combination. The savings, though, are fairly high, $10,000 to $16,000 a year. So, and several of the boards are doing this, so if you're not, you might think about it. There are some issues with it, but you can look through those. Issues of retired CPAs. Seems the biggest issue with that is not necessarily being retired, but what can these retired CPAs actually do? And then what about their CPE and how's that going to work out as far as requirements for that? Self-reporting of the disciplinary actions, the main questions that came up were what to report. Some states require just misdemeanors to be reported. Some require all the way to felonies, and so there's differences in the states that way. The other issue here is another issue with when is, do you do it when you've actually been charged, or you wait until after the case has been dealt with? Also, what can you do? Because some states are dealing with issues that are non-accounting related, and should we be able to discipline them as far as their licensing goes? And for example, one of the states said that they had a CPA that had killed the complainant. It happened to be this person's spouse, but can you discipline that person for killing the complainant? So that was a little bit so there's a little bit of an issue with this. Okay, moves towards consolidations. There are a number of states, somewhere in the 20 state range, that are looking at consolidation or have it on their agenda, or their governors have it on their agendas. There's always been issues with staffing, cutting of staff's budgets, those kind of things. But it looked to me like, and I didn't see the notes from prior years, but it looked to me like there wasn't, maybe we're getting used to the budget cuts, I'm not sure, but there wasn't as many issues with that as there had been earlier. One of the issues was whistleblowing and the ethics of whistleblowing for CPAs, and also, did it make a difference if the whistleblower was compensated? I know the IRS gives compensation for that, a percentage of what was saved. So what were the ethics of that? And again, different states have different rules about what you can report and what you can't report. So that was an issue. Other issues that were discussed while we were in these sessions were the difficulties with CPE audits, the different ways to track that, staffing issues with CPE audits, the difficulty in attestation by the licensees, those kind of things. Another issue was quality of university accrediting agencies and the differences between those. Also, another issue, this was a new one that I hadn't heard before, were banks and other entities offering CPA firms, and primarily this came out of the ag business sector region. The other issue that we dealt with, but I think it's probably going to be ongoing, is legislation in a number of different states that deal with military personnel and their families. And this is a presidential sort of move to allow military families to get back into the economy. And it ranges all the way from allowing spouses to come in to actually, in Wyoming, actually, they wanted to license the military personnel themselves without education that Wyoming required. So those were some of the things that we talked about. There weren't any really controversial issues, and there was but lively conversation.